Hi guys, and welcome to Freckle Finance. Today I want to do a video on the myths about retirement, and I want to do this because these myths prevent people from properly saving for their retirement. This first myth is very Canadian specific. I don't know how this works in other countries. The rest of the myths will pretty much be applicable to any other country, but that would be that CPP and OAS are going to be enough to survive off. Basically, the government retirement benefits will be enough to survive off in retirement, and this is not true. First, I want to point out that CPP stands for the Canadian Pension Plan, so that's the one that you contribute on every paycheck towards. And people think that this is going to get them enough money to retire on with the OAS and sometimes the GIS. As of January 2015, the average payout for CPP is $618, and the maximum for CPP is $1,065. The average monthly payout for OAS, which stands for Old Age Security, is $564 a month. For those retired individuals with really low income, there is also GIS, which is Guaranteed Income Supplement. GIS has a maximum payout of $765 monthly, and this GIS also has a maximum cutoff. So if you make more as an individual than $17,136 a year, then you don't get GIS. This is your maximum that you can make, basically off of government benefits as an individual. It could possibly be a little bit higher if you have high CPP, but the average person does not have higher CPP. As well, if you're married or common law, the maximum for GIS is $22,608. Now, how many people really feel that they can live off these numbers here? Because really, it's quite low. If you are only receiving CPP and OAS, your income for the year is under $20,000. That's not a lot of income to survive off of. And that's what you get. That's what the government pays you. You would not probably get much more than that. So if you do not have any other money saved aside, now you can survive off $20,000 a year. I'm not saying you can't, but you're not going to be able to do much. You're probably going to have to dramatically decrease your lifestyle, and nobody really wants to do that for their retirement. People usually want to travel more, and gain more hobbies and other things. The second myth is that you can afford to pay for your child's education. Now, obviously, there are people with high enough incomes who can afford to pay for their child's education, but many, many people put off their retirement plans to pay for their child's education. And I really feel that if you properly teach your children to manage their finances properly, they will do just fine paying for their education. Now, obviously, this is a lot more applicable in Canada, where a university education is generally under $25,000 for the full 4 years. However, I've heard that there's cheaper state schools or I can't remember what they're called, state colleges, something like that in the US that are also kind of around the price of a Canadian university here. And, encourage your kids to go where they can afford. If they can't go to the fanciest school, it's probably not even worth it for them to spend that much money on education if they can't afford it. Their jobs, their education should be able to be paid for by their careers. If their career can't pay for their education, it probably wasn't a good education to get in the first place. Many people both feel that it is too early and also too late for them to start saving for retirement. Now, let me tell you, it is absolutely, absolutely never too early to start saving for retirement. In fact, the earlier, the better. The earlier you start saving, the more relaxed you can be with your retirement plan. The easier going it is, the less stress it is. You're not in your 50s stressing out, will I have enough money for retirement? So definitely saving earlier is better. That being said, just because you waited too long for retirement doesn't mean that it's impossible and that you shouldn't do it. You want to set yourself up for the best option you have available to you now. So if you're in your 50s and you haven't started saving for retirement yet, it's not too late. Don't give up. You do not want to be living strictly off of the government retirement benefits. As well, the earlier that you start saving for retirement, the more your money starts working for you in the form of compound interest. As well, if you never save for retirement, let's say once again you're in your 50s and you haven't started saving for retirement and you just give up on it, you may find out that you can't survive off the government retirement benefits and you're going to be working. And the last thing you want to be doing is working into your 70s and 80s or up until the day you die because you didn't plan for retirement. So, it doesn't matter what age you are, you should be planning for retirement. I even think that 16-year-olds, get their first job, start saving, maybe not towards retirement, but maybe towards something that could help them later save towards retirement. The fourth myth is that you should wait until you have a good pension or RRSP, which for Americans that's similar to a 401k, package with your work. Now, the reason this is a bad myth is because not everyone ever gets these. You can't be holding out and waiting for that to happen. You should just start saving for retirement now. Old age doesn't wait for your dream job or your dream benefits package. You need to be real about life and the fact that you will one day be older, and you need to start saving for retirement now. The fifth myth is that you will spend less money when you retire. Now, if you do actually downgrade your lifestyle, then you will spend less money when you retire. But the fact is that most people don't want to. They've been living this lifestyle for decades and they don't want to give it up. Many people plan that they're going to move to a cheaper city or become a one-car household, and that's their plan. But when the reality hits and they're retired, they still are used to their freedom of having a two-car household. Now, by all means, I definitely encourage going down to one car if you can, but many people don't want to, and then they don't, and they don't have the option anymore, and they feel kind of trapped. They're like, why didn't I save more money for retirement? As well, plans to move to a different city to downgrade can really, really change. I obviously don't even have kids, but I've heard, people want to stay where their grandkids are. And so your plan was to move far away to a city or a town that's going to be a lot cheaper than where you live now, but your grandkids are in the more expensive city. Or maybe even your grandkids are in the more expensive city and you're in the cheaper city and you want to be closer to them. So you have to move. So you can't wait until you're retired to figure these things out. You have to figure out now. Like, do you really think you're going to spend less? I believe that we will probably spend about the same amount. Now, if we have our house paid off, obviously we would have our house paid off before retirement. But many people have their houses paid off before retirement and they're still spending most of their money. And they're used to that lifestyle with just spending. As well, during retirement, you're obviously going to have a lot more time on your hands, and you're probably going to pick up a few more hobbies and want to travel more. And that could actually, make up for some of the costs that you're saving by downgrading and stuff. So you still may be spending the exact same amount, at least for the first little bit. Now, I've heard that after several years or so, you stop spending all that money because you kind of slow down and you just want to hang out with your family. You don't want to go everywhere. You've gone through that part of your life of the traveling and the major hobbies, but maybe you never will. But either way, you need to be prepared. You need to plan that you're going to want to do things in your retirement, and your retirement's not going to be sitting around doing nothing all day. Because I can imagine if that was your plans for retirement, it's not going to be a very happy retirement in the first place. That was my list of retirement myths. It is not all inclusive or anything. There's definitely many, many other myths about retirement. But I just wanted to go over these ones so I can hopefully fuel some young, some middle-aged, some close to retirement people that if you haven't saved for retirement or you haven't saved seriously for retirement, to please get on it. Now, once again, as I've said in other videos, if you are in debt, you need to pay off your debt. Obviously, get out of debt, then save for retirement. But overall, your focus needs to be on making sure that you have enough money for your future self. Love your future self. If you find these videos interesting and informative and you want to learn more, please click subscribe, as I will be uploading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Have a good day. Bye.